Welcome to a new video with our home in the forest. I am Caroline and I'm living with my husband Misha and our two little children in Central Portugal on our beautiful forest farm. Today I am showing you how I am doing another hydrosol. This time we are doing a Eucalyptus Hydrosol. Last time we did rosemary because it is really great in deterring mosquitoes, and we are going through it rapidly right now in summer. Hello. Our eucalyptus essential oil. We are doing a hydrosol again with my distilling. So it is very successful with deterring mosquitoes, and I need to do more. So I am going fancy with my shopping bags to harvest some eucalyptus to either today or tomorrow start the distiller again. I still have some rosemary hydrosol, which I do love for skin and hair, but right now we are really going through bottles and bottles of eucalyptus because of all the mosquitoes. Where are we? There she is. This might also count as pruning. My phone stand broke, so you're there at a tree now. Just from cutting 2 branches. These oils are crazy. And now whenever there's a helicopter, we're getting crazy. But life must go on. There was a small fire alert near here. And it kind of paralyzes you for a minute. I think if I'm filling 2 of these bags, my distiller will be full. It's actually quite useful that I'm cutting this back right now, because we can check in with this in a year or so, or maybe even earlier. This will grow back so quickly. We don't want our eucalyptus getting out of hand again. We have a few really large trees, and it makes much more sense to keep it as a tiny bush and harvest the leaves. This is another eucalyptus friend. You see this very dry bark, and up there are the leaves. Oh, and down here, this one's I harvest now.
I'm walking back with my 2 full bags, and I will quickly take a dip in our little pool before we have a lot of guests the next days. Last moment to enjoy. I just heard the firefighters again, not daring to see our app. Yeah, so a constant state of mind one needs to get used to. Now a quick break. Our grapes are drying out. That's something for the next years. We need to figure out how much water to give, because the ones that are growing in front of our house, they are supporting much more fruit per vine, and the ones in the vineyard, they have just a couple of fruits because they're not so extensive. So I guess the ones here we need to water much more, and they seem to be ripe quicker. Maybe it's hotter here. There's the wall of the house reflecting heat, maybe. This is not an ad, but in case you're wondering how to set up your distiller, your Vilvo distiller, let me show you. We have all our material in the big bucket. We close the bucket tight and we put the tiny pot on top. It attaches. There's only one attachment here. 2 pipes, rubbery types, a big one for the excess water. It's usually warmer. Goes into some sort of bucket that you have with cold water. It comes with a pump and a thinner rubber tube, which is doing the whole distilling process. It will cool down your steam, and then we attach this steel pipe and it will drip out our essential oil together with the distilled water, the hydrosol. We need to be careful. Sometimes this is moving a bit and I didn't figure out quite perfectly yet. You see it here. There is a hole a bit and that makes it a bit unstable. But overall, for the price, it's working well. In between, you need to be prepared to pick up another bucket of cold water to make sure your distillation is still running. So you should have a second bucket on hand. I found this the easiest method because I have been also refilling cold water here, but then it's constantly mixing with the hot water, and then you need to dispose of the water. So a second bucket is the most clever solution to change out the cooling water in between. Or you have a longer pipe and constantly water running from the tap, but it's also not necessary. It's a waste of water. So second bucket, 1 or 2 more loads to have cold water for your distillation process. I will build myself now a little tower to have my glass here. And there we go. Now just pump. Bit more. Now that this is full of water, it's more stable and you can put it again in a position that you need. And now the water begins running out from here. I actually ended up changing water way more often than I thought. Maybe due to the general heat. I don't know. But I lost count. It's probably the 4th load of water. And then I also soon need another glass for my essential oil, hydrosol. So, but cold water, a fresh vessel with cold water. I first change the pump into the cold water and I let run the hot water from the distilling into the old bucket, so I collect all the hot water. So fresh water goes in, hot water goes here. I'm testing sometimes if the hot water is still hot or if it's also already becoming cold, meaning if all the water up here is exchanged. Now it's cold. Then I have here a chair, which helps me to transfer. If you have a bigger table, that's also great. Okay. I find the opening is kind of small to collect it, so I will transfer most of it here. And then we can continue. So you might notice, I show you another angle. Sometimes it's just dripping, and sometimes it's really shooting out. So you need a container with a mouth that is wide enough that you can collect this dripping. If you don't have a dripper, I didn't invest in a dripper. For us, this is working. You told me already. If you follow this channel, you know we make it work. We don't need all the stuff. If for some reason this method doesn't work for you, I show you a second. So we add fresh water to our bucket where the water is
constantly pumped into our distilling pot, and then we release only the hot water in another pot. Excuse the bad lighting conditions. That's our farmhouse kitchen. So fresh water. And now we are releasing the hot water. Yeah, you see here, this is the pump. It's hot water now, but then we just do one more round. Because this water up here heats up with the steam coming out of the main chamber. And while cooling down the steam from the basically boiling the leaves, it extracts for us the distilled water. So the colder the water is in here, in this bucket, the better your whole system works. And this is like a endless cycle, and at some point you have hot water. This is a 10 liters cooking pot. So anything between 10 to 20 liters is probably best. Like I said, it would be probably very easy if you had a pipe from your main water supply to enter now here, but I don't have. We make it work. Don't forget now to put the pipe back. If not, you have a big mess. I tried that for you. Much better. I don't love this method, just for the fact you basically work the entire time with lukewarm water instead of putting the pump into your cold water, and it immediately takes cold water into your distillation chamber. But if for some reason that's how you need to do it because of space, it also works. Now we had 2 fresh pots of water, and it's like, what is that, 25 degrees maybe. It's a bit colder than my hand. And we have 40 degrees outside. I could fill a bathtub for the kids with hot water. And there we have it. We fill the hydrosol in a little spray bottle or in a dripper and spread in the hands, and then we can also apply it to ourselves or the kids. And I believe it will be very, very useful, this Eucalyptus Hydrosol, to use in winter when we have any respiratory illnesses. There, just a disclaimer, don't use it for children under 2 years. Ours are older, it's totally safe to use. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. We have a lot of new projects on the channel. We will need to renovate the house a little bit before winter. So before the next heavy rain, we need to fix our roof. It has been raining in the kitchen. Ouch. We will integrate the young chickens with the older ones. This will be a fun thing to attempt. One of the moms has been fighting regularly now with the other chickens when they meet each other at the fence. We will try to make wine. We have some grapes. This year the grapes have been more successful, but they are drinking water so much. So water management next year will be also a big topic. So we thought we will also try cider, apple wine. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.